There's a concept that Fred Hart, designer in the space that you may have come across. I think he's done some work on some pretty prominent brands.
Yeah,
and
sure.
he's talks about this concept called Trojan horse positioning, where it's basically the theory is that brands should just really focus their messaging on ultimately just what matters to consumers most, even if it's not really what makes the brand unique. And it had been a messaging that brands should think they should focus on, but do consumers necessarily care about the most? Maybe not. Eddie's was an example that he was talking about where they shifted away from talking about regenerative cheese to just focusing on an appetite driven approach. They have protein in the product. It's better for you than buying Cheez-Its. So I'm curious, like, how does this resonate with you in terms of regenerative and how it actually should be positioned and where it comes into play in terms of messaging to consumers?
Well, what I've seen work best is leading with health. So I believe that if brands, Simple Mills did a really good job of this, they're nutrient dense foods. And that's the first and foremost attribute. And it just so happens that they also were relying on regenerative agriculture, and they started to push regenerative agriculture and with videos back to the farm, etc. But they always led with health. And that, I think, what matters to you as a consumer is what is going to drive the day. And health is usually the number one attribute.
Yeah.
And so rather than leading with climate can be an also, but it's not usually the primary driver to actually get velocities moving.
Yeah. It's going to be nice to have, but it's not going to be the make or break decision.
Even a Verde Farms, while it's regenerative, and I think they're the only grass-fed beef company that is organic, regenerative, and fully grass-fed finished. And that's partly because it comes from Uruguay and they never went to conventional agriculture in Uruguay. But they lead with organic. That's right. What matters to consumers. That's the most important thing from a health perspective, no chemicals, etc.